to the Sports Mom Playbook.
Welcome to the Sports Mom Playbook, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes with real moms and industry experts for all things sports to help you start or make more use of your time on and off the field.
Get ready for this binge-worthy podcast with some special guest appearances. Laugh along and join us in what we love doing, celebrating the true MVPs of the game, moms.
Let's do this.
You know the sound of a game day, the crack of a bat, the roar of the crowd, and of course that smack of sunflower seeds. And nobody does it better than smacking sunflower seeds. These aren't your average convenience store seeds. We're talking bold, addictive flavors, less mess, and packaging made for the ballpark grind. From dill pickle punch to sweet heat barbecue, Smackin' Seeds brings the flavor and the attitude. Perfect for the dugouts, road trips, and yes, even sideline snacking for sports moms who like a little crunch with their cheer. Family owned just like your local league, stock up at smackinsunflowerseeds.com and use code Rachel84257 for 10% off your first snack-worthy stash. Stock up at smackinsunflowerseeds.com and use code Rachel84257 for 10% off your first snack-worthy stash. Smackin' Sunflower Seeds, fueling your season one smack at a time. Hi, friends. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Sports Mom Playbook Podcast. I'm Rachel.
Hi, and I'm Yuritsa.
And today we have a very special guest. Julio Hernandez is here. He came to visit us today, and he is a orthopedic physician assistant. And we are so excited to have you on the show and to make the trip out here. We appreciate you. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and a little bit about your personal life?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's really a privilege and an honor to be here. So to take you back to my childhood, I grew up and was born into a military family. So with that came a lot of travel. So I was traveling every couple of years to a new city, sometimes a new country, a new state. And the one constant in our family was sports. So sports was a constant staple. And it was an avenue for me to make friends wherever we went. So sports has always been a very intricate part of my life and my family's life. So that fast forward to high school, I played baseball in high school, suffered an injury, and that introduced me to the athletic training world. I had a phenomenal athletic trainer. She's still practicing at Cypress Creek High School down South Orlando.
Wow.
But she introduced me to the world of sports medicine, athletic training. I was like, wow, I can actually see myself doing this and still be involved in sports. And that took off from there. I went to USF undergrad, got my athletic training degree, and was fortunate to land a internship with the Tampa Bay Rays. And then it was like, okay, it's on. I want to do professional baseball, and this is what I want to do. And it kind of led me to where I'm at now.
That is so awesome.
I love that.
How did you like working for the Rays?
It was awesome. I mean, it was tough, especially as a young teenager, 19, 20 years old, working with these elite level athletes.
Yeah.
It was very eye-opening.
Yeah.
But it definitely laid the foundation for my career in professional baseball, definitely.
That's so awesome. So now did you get the internship through, you applied?
Yeah.
And, just for anyone that's like listening in that maybe is like,
so
wanting to know how to kind of, because I think this is such a unique field. And you get the best of both worlds, right? You get like, you're involved in the sports, you get the social aspect, you get everything.
Definitely.
So how would they maybe go about that?
Yeah, so USF, they have a phenomenal athletic training program. I believe it's master's now. It was undergrad when I was there. But I had great mentors, Steve Walls, Mickey Cup, and Val Rich, that really laid the path for me. And they had relationships with different teams in town, like the Yankees, the Pirates, the Rays. And I was very, very fortunate. I applied, had to do an interview, and they picked me to do an internship with them. Definitely.
That's awesome. So now when you were with them, what did it look like for you in the sense of your responsibilities? Were you there with them train? Like, were you just there on site at all times?
Yeah. So I was still taking classes because I wasn't graduated yet. So I had to juggle the class part and then drive from Tampa to St. Pete to their spring training complex.
Okay.
And so I was there essentially from 5 a.m. all the way till we were done in the afternoon, and just doing whatever, filling up water coolers, taping ankles if they let me, treating athletes if they let me put my hands on them, but mainly just doing all the grunt work, all the scout work that they wanted me to do, the athletic trainers there.
I bet you learned a lot from observing.
Oh yeah, I'm a visual learner, so that was, for me, was perfect. I can see somebody do something and I can apply it
Yeah.
to what I'm doing now.
Yeah. And I'm sure it was also eye-opening just to see people that you like see on TV and know. And then they're like,
Did you feel like, were you
they're
like fanning? You're like,
then
oh my
they're
God.
like right there and you're like, hey, like,
Yeah,
Were you nervous?
I mean, definitely nervous, but you
Yeah.
definitely have to hide that because these baseball players, I mean, as you guys
you can't
know,
ask
they're-
them for an
no,
autograph.
you
Like that is
cannot.
not
You got to
the
keep
time.
it professional.
It's not
That
the
is
time.
their personal space, and
Yeah.
they will definitely call you out on that quick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
So
sure.
it's, but definitely nervous as first time in the profession.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so
That's
cool. So then,
amazing.
okay, so you interned with them for a little bit.
Yep.
And then what did you do after that?
Yeah, so after I graduated, I took a slight detour, went to graduate school at UAB in Alabama, Birmingham,
Okay.
got my graduate degree in health promotion education, and there actually I had phenomenal experience working with the football team and baseball team. So I was the only athletic trainer working with the baseball team. So that allowed me to really start refining my skills, working with the clubhouse full of baseball players by myself, and just trial and error because I was still learning and applying it
Yeah.
to the clubhouse. Yeah,
That's so cool. And then what did you do? So then you graduated, right?
I graduated. Yep.
And
So I
then-
graduated early. I actually applied to every single Major League Baseball team. Sent out at that time. Email wasn't very common. I guess.
It was like
2007
faxing in your
around
resume
there.
No,
or
email-
something.
they
I guess it was
email.
common, but it wasn't readily found. So I just
Right.
sent out letters in my resume to every single
Like snail mail.
every
Okay,
single
old
MLB
school.
team to the general manager and the minor league director. Got about 6 or 7 phone calls back, one
Nice.
full-time offer, which was the Florida Marlins, and I accepted that position with their rookie level team. And that started my professional career.
I love that.
Yeah.
Way
That's
to hustle.
awesome. How did you what was that experience like getting that like the offer and just,
Amazing. Amazing.
right?
It was
'Cause
just,
were you still in Florida or were you
no,
still
I was in Alabama.
Okay.
And I had to graduate early because they
Yeah.
offered me the position. They're like, you need to start like
Right
now.
away. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I gotta finish up. A lot of the classes I was able to do, at my own pace. So I
Right.
finished up pretty quick.
That's
Graduated
awesome.
there and just took off to Jupiter, Florida, and worked my
The
butt
rest
off.
is history.
Yeah,
And how long were you with them for?
I was with the Marlins about almost 7 years.
Oh wow.
So worked
Some
from the
time.
rookie level all the way up to AAA level, which is a step under the big league.
Yeah.
So definitely grew a lot during that 7 years, professionally and personally.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Definitely.
I'm sure you saw a lot too. Like,
Yeah.
dealing with all these players and like different injuries. Like, what was it like to handle that? Because, obviously you're, the doctor, you're assessing how they are, but also there's like that mental aspect, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's the mental aspect, the personal aspect is definitely a big deal, especially in baseball where you're with these guys every day. So building trust, building the rapport is critical in them allowing you to trust you with their careers, right?
Right.
And making sure that they know that you have their best interest. So that was tough. It got better and easier as I moved up the ladder, because in AAA you're dealing with athletes that these guys are knocking on the door of big league. So it's a lot more critical. A lot of these guys have families, so making the decisions can really affect their families too. So having that in the back of your mind.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's a lot, but definitely gave me the tools I need to use where I'm at today.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I'm sure it was also nice. It's nice to build those relationships and
Mhm.
also like see their successes and
Oh
like
yeah,
trusting in you and you trusting in them. And, that's a lot.
definitely. I mean, their successes, I feel like I'm just part of them.
Yeah.
That's our glory as well. And seeing them injured it's tough, but seeing them get back is even greater.
Yeah. And they come back even stronger
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's awesome. So so Marlins for 7 years.
Yep.
And then where did we jump to?
So then we had a family change. We had our first daughter. So I was looking for something a little bit more local. So I did not renew my contract with the Marlins that year. Had no idea what I was going to do. I left it up to God and was thinking maybe I could work at a clinic, a gym, something. But I emailed a friend with the Braves. The Braves were in Orlando at that time. And he's like, we don't have anything right now, but let me send it up to the management team. Got a call a few weeks later, offered me a position with the Braves stationed in Orlando. with their rookie team and being more in an administrative role. So handling a lot of the paperwork with medical drafts and all that.
Right.
So
Okay.
definitely a different role, but gave me more of that administrative side of things too.
Which is good to be knowledgeable in both.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Seeing how the front office went about, how they signed players, how they did their risk management and all that.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
I forgot that the Braves were here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were here, and then
I forget.
they moved when I went to PA school. So
Awesome.
they moved to Northport, yeah, I believe.
So after you had your daughter, so then how long were you with the Braves then?
3 years.
3 years.
Yep.
And then what did we do
Yeah,
after
so
that?
during that time, I got the itch that I wanted to do a little bit more with my
I
career.
wanna be-
So I
What was
started.
the next step?
Yeah, so I started speaking to the team physicians. They were like, "Hey, with your background, I think you would make a great fit as a PA in ortho."
Right.
So I started researching it. I was like, "Man, I can see myself doing that, getting more involved with the decision making of patients and athletes." So my last year with the Braves, I had to take some prerequisites. So I slammed again, busy, just adding more to my plate. Finished all that up, applied to a few schools, and got accepted to Emory in Atlanta. So that was probably one of the most challenging moments in my career, that I had to make the decision to leave something that I truly loved in order for the betterment of my career and my family and all that. So we picked up. Emily, being the amazing wife that she is, left her job, found a job in Atlanta, and we picked up and moved to Atlanta for 3 years. And that allowed me to get my degree in physician assistant.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And now where are you currently at?
Yeah, so currently I'm working in a private orthopedic practice. So I work one-on-one with a surgeon, and we're very high volume, a lot of joint replacements and a lot of sports medicine. So I work 3 days in a clinic. I see about 15 to 30 patients a day, depending. See all array of injuries and body parts, mainly hips, knees, shoulders, and elbows. And then 2 days in the OR operating room, assisting the surgeon with the surgeries, mainly joint replacements, rotator cuff repairs, ACLs, all of the above.
Wow.
I know this is going to sound super creepy, but I love surgery.
We just did a live surgery last week.
I
have to send you some
Rachel should be
videos.
your stand-in and watch you do the surgery.
I don't know what it is. Like I for the longest time, I was like, I definitely wanted to be in the nursing field.
Yeah.
And then I worked as a CNA for a while, and that was like probably the worst thing I could have done for myself. But like, there's something about surgery and like the human body, I think, is so amazing.
It
like
is. I agree.
I would sit there if I could and just go in and watch it.
I'll have to bring you in
Like,
one day.
I'm serious. I think it's so cool.
You should.
I think it's very cool.
That would be fun to document that experience for you.
Yeah.
The surgeon I work with, he loves to teach, so we'd love to
Rachel,
have you.
this is your opportunity.
Listen, I loved anatomy and physiology. I loved it. That was like,
Yeah.
I loved it until my first day at PA school, and I walk in and there's this cadaver, and it's like, okay, have at it.
yeah, I think
Dissect
that
it.
would definitely, I would have probably stopped there too. Like, I would have
Like,
gotten past
time
that
out.
point.
What am I getting
She's
myself
like, "No,
into?
thank you. That's wild. Yeah,
That's
I
wild.
could never. Totally different here.
So now what do you like, okay, when let's talk about like the practice now, like with because you deal with kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
We deal with youths as well. What's like something that you see that's maybe like a common injury or something
that could be preventable, like
or
type of
anything?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
I'm sure it can be preventable. Like, what's the most common thing, I guess, that you see?
Nowadays, I would say in the age range of 8 to about 12, 13, I'm seeing a lot of elbow injuries, which is eye-opening. Is very sad to see, because a lot of this can be preventable. But for me, when I see these kids in the office with their parents, I take it as an opportunity to teach, right? So most of the time I'm counseling the kid, teaching the parents, and essentially reverse engineering this. How did we get to the point that you're sitting in my exam room? And what can we do? What are areas in the past that we can change for the future, right? So a lot of times when I see these kids, they've been go for the last year or two, and there's no break at all, max effort, no time for rest. So a lot of it is teaching these kids that, because they're in the moment, right? They want to be able to play tomorrow, where I'm looking 2, 3, 4 years down the line. So my job at that point is to educate these kids that, hey, it's okay to take a break. More is not better. Like, we have a bigger picture here. And the biggest advice I give to parents is be comfortable saying no, right? And it's hard for me as a parent too, that, we think we we're doing good by our kids by giving them that next lesson or that next showcase or that next tournament. And a lot of times these kids are wanting, they're speaking to us, especially if they're complaining of elbow pain. I think that's a huge red flag. Take a step back.
Right.
Give them time off to prevent this from turning into something. And now you're sitting in my exam room. And nowadays, it comes from the top down. So the major leagues is velocity. Velocity is king right now. So everybody's chasing the velocity, max effort, and that trickles down. But what I see the MLB doing, and they've partnered with USA Baseball, they've come out with guidelines, and which are great, but the kids are not following them. So there's a newer study over the last couple of years that they stated that 90% of the athletes are not following these guidelines because the kids that are following the guidelines, they're seeing their teammates that are not following the guidelines have increased velocity. So if they see their teammate have increased velocity, more people are watching them, I'm not going to follow these guidelines. So I think there's definitely more for us as parents, as clinicians, to educate coaches, parents, everybody to be on that same page.
I honestly, I like the education part is really like huge in my opinion. Yeah. I wish that there was almost like some type of I don't want to say a clinic because that sounds like very, but like like a workshop or something just for parents to,
I agree.
Talk about arm care. There is certain tournaments that we're in that, the kids started kid pitch this past season. And, my husband was head coach and he would have to keep a pitch count because they could only allow a certain amount. But then there's other tournaments where
it's unlimited.
They literally don't care. They don't care.
It's scary.
It's really scary. Yeah. And they're like 8 and 9 and they don't first of all, they're also still learning to pitch, right? So let's start with that. They're learning like how to move their body. They're learning how to pitch. And then to do that amount, you can't just assume that everybody is going to private lessons and getting care.
Yeah.
So I wish there was something maybe out there for the parents to just be like, okay, these are the exercises. Because, Grayson does private pitching lessons, but they made him sit through like a 2-hour class on arm care. Like, this is how you warm up. This is your stretching after. This is, you have to ice. You have to went through all of these things. And it was also beneficial for me because then I'm learning too because I didn't know.
Yeah,
I would not.
I don't think any parent would know exactly what to do.
I think that is interesting.
There's a lot of misinformation, I think, on the internet.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
I think I
get it every day in the clinic.
I think sometimes people are like, oh well, on YouTube, so and so does that. Well, that's not necessarily
correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you feel like it started?
No, go ahead.
Should it be like a uniform? Do you feel like it should be like a uniform expectation, especially for these young kids?
I think at my son's 8. Your son's 8 or 9. No?
Yeah. He turns 9 soon.
Yeah. So I think at this age, I think yes, a uniform arm care program just to lay the foundation to allow them to be aware of their body, to get to know their bodies, I think is essential. And then as they age, yes, we need to tailor that to the athlete because they grow at all different paces, they're different weights, they're different arm slots, all of the above. So I think at this age, foundational, definitely, because I don't see it at all. I think that's awesome that private lesson did that. I think more places need to do that, and they probably don't know, and that's where maybe I think there's an opportunity.
I think there's that assuming, right? Because even when I was there, I'm like, yeah, I never knew this. Like we got armbands for all this type of stuff, but I'm like, oh, he's 8. In my head, I'm like, oh, he doesn't need this till he's like 13.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is not the case.
Which it's really not the case. And so it was nice to learn that. And I'm like, we need to get something maybe more concrete out that even just the exercises. Because it's like, okay, yes, I am teaching you what to do. As a parent, there's like a million different things. But even like a workout video. Okay, like you're going to pitch today. Here's your workout for an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
I know that.
And the technique.
I think it's
the technique.
That's critical.
Just to show them because, for me, how you earlier were like, oh, I'm a visual learner. Like I'm a visual learner too. So I know that about my child. So you could sit there and tell him a million times how to do something. But if you physically show him, he's just going to pick it up. And I think with sports, to have that visual of like, this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
I think that
It's
would just
so
be
I love that.
huge for these kids.
And
I
it
agree.
prevents to doing the improper motion. Because if you
Correct.
don't know what you're doing, you are repetitive.
Pick up bad habits.
Yes, you pick up those bad habits and you're doing more damage than good,
Correct.
Yeah.
And that leads to poor mechanics, fatigue, and essentially injury.
It's also wild, too, to see these parents that are okay with their kids throwing these pitch counts. And I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
I don't know if it's like a flex, like, oh, my kid did like
Yeah.
X amount of pitches,
Is that a flex, though?
I don't know.
I don't-
I don't think it's a good
I don't
flex
think
to
so either.
have.
I mean, if you want to sit there
But
and be
I'm
like,
sure
hey, my kid's a good
parents that-
person, we got good grades, like
Yeah.
that's a flex. But
Right.
like
Yeah.
on a weekend, to me, I'm like, that you're hurting your kid
Yeah.
long term.
Yeah.
But
there
a
wa-
parent that doesn't know,
yeah.
they may not know
I
any
mean,
different.
there was an article in the New York Times a few years ago that they showed a 12-year-old that was in a Little League World Series, had about 200 pitches over the span of 4 days. And they compared that to CC Sabathia, and he didn't even reach that in like 14 days. So it's like,
wow.
it's borderline child abuse. I mean,
Right. I mean, it is, though.
It's
It is.
it's insane what these coaches are letting these kids do. But I think they're getting better. I think we're getting better. We're getting, as we get more educated, more statistics and more involvement from Major League, because it trickles down.
Yeah.
It does. I think they also see these guys, but they're seeing them in a game and on TV,
Yeah.
but not necessarily realizing what's going on behind the scenes.
That is a big deal.
So these kids are like, oh, this is my favorite player, and it's like, yeah, but I wish there was like a snapshot for them to really do like a day in the life as to the dedication, not only
Behind
like
the scenes.
with their diet, like their workout, their stretching, like all of that.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because I was having a conversation with Lucas the other day, and he loves Ronald Acuna Jr. And I met him. I actually had the opportunity to work with him when he was a rookie at 16 years old with the Braves, and his work ethic, unbelievable. I mean, this guy would be in the cage 2 hours before the game, hitting off the tee, something that we see as so basic, and he's every day hitting off the tee, watching film, nutrition on point. And a lot of this we don't see, like you said, but behind the scenes, that's where really, I mean, these elite level
magic
athletes
happens.
make their money. I mean,
Right. I mean,
It's that discipline.
their body is their breadwinner,
Yeah,
essentially.
it's their work. Yeah.
So is their mindset too.
mindset's
Like
huge.
the mindset is huge. And I think like taking care of your body and then having the proper mindset and,
Yep. Sleep is a big deal now. So that's a lot more
Yeah.
research on sleep and recovery. So,
and then what do
definitely.
you see like from like a preventative standpoint? Like we talked about like the arm care and stuff like that, but what is it other things that parents can maybe do just from like a sports medicine or any sport really, like across the board?
Yeah, I think arm care is a big deal. Working on shoulder, working on flexibility. I mean, I can't even count on one hand or two hands how many athletes I see in the office tell them to touch their toes and they can't. So a lot of that, stretching, working on mobility. Also, single sport specialization is a big deal at a young age. So allowing these kids to play multiple sports, even if they don't like it, if they're not good, try it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you're able to develop other parts of your body, other skills like soccer. You can develop footwork.
Yeah.
So I think those are
That's
the main
important.
things. Yeah.
So now, what's your favorite part about your job today?
It's a good
Tough question.
It's a good question.
Because I feel like you've done just a variety of different things.
Yeah.
So I just,
I like a puzzle. So I like to go into a patient room, not knowing what's going on, assessing them, speaking to them, listening to their story, and figuring out, okay, this is probably what's going on with you. This is what I feel is recommended, and seeing them get better. I think that's really, I get a joy out of that.
do the kids ever ask like what you do, or do they want to come in?
The kid, my son asks all the time. We had the live surgery last week, so he was able to watch that, and he was like in awe of it.
Yeah.
So
I'll be right there with
Rachel's
him.
going to be next.
I'll be right there
She's
with
like, I
him.
want to join that.
Yeah.
It's
So
very
it's cool.
cool. And so now your kids, they have their own sports.
Correct.
So what are they doing, and what is it like now to be, it's different like when it's you in sports and like your career, but like watching them go through, their own little thing.
It definitely is fun, intense. My daughter's 12. She's in an elite travel volleyball team, so that takes a lot of our time.
Yeah.
My son plays baseball, not travel ball yet. I haven't got to that point yet,
Yeah.
but he does martial arts as well.
Good.
So, and then we forced him to do volleyball camp. So, which he ended up loving.
One drop off.
Yeah, he ended up loving it, but he was like, I do not want to do this. I'm a baseball player.
Yeah.
I'm like, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay to try
something
stuff.
And he loved
new.
it. And then, as a parent, it's interesting because you never know how your spouse is going to be as a spectator. And Emily and I are complete opposite in that aspect.
Yeah.
I'm pretty calm. I'm pretty chill watching these kids, and Emily can get really, she
gets
can get into it,
Yeah.
which is awesome. I love seeing that aspect of her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I loved when she was on the team because she does get into it,
Does
but like
she?
not in like a bad way.
No, no,
like
no.
she's
She's
just
super
like
excited.
Encouraging.
she's
and-
very encouraging, but she roots for like everybody's kids.
She's
like
the
it's
best
so
hype girl.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's fun.
I love
She
that.
does a
I'm
good job with that.
And I'm just calm,
Just
and she's
even
like,
level.
show a little bit more emotion.
Yeah. Oh man. Have you had to bring it to an attention like on a team, like if you notice like an athlete's doing something that could be potentially injuring to them? Have you ever like brought that up to the
On my
parent?
kids team?
Yeah, like or just in general. Do you try
I
to
haven't
keep
witnessed
it?
anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I have spoken to coaches in the past about arm care and things
Yeah.
like that, but nothing confrontational or
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe in travel ball it's a little different, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like travel ball it should be like a mandatory.
it should be required.
I
Like
I
a
really
class?
do. Just like a class, like
Yeah.
a class. Like I mean, maybe we need to make something because
Do you want to be a
I
webinar
just-
I love it.
coach? Like we'll do coaches online.
I just like how like coaches have to go through now they have Florida changed the
Yeah.
laws, right? So now they have to go through like fingerprinting every season. It used to
Oh,
just
wow.
be like once a year. So now
That's
it's
good.
every season. They changed a bunch of different laws. They run the background checks a little bit differently, where it was just mainly in Florida. Now they do other states as well. So
Yeah.
like they've changed things. So I feel like as they're going through those courses and also learning the rules, like it
Mhm.
should almost be
A no brainer.
an arm
Yeah.
care thing
Yeah.
that
I mean,
they
it's part of the job
right.
Yeah.
to keep these kids healthy.
Yeah,
as best you
because-
can.
Yeah, because I mean, again, they're young, but even just when we go to these tournaments and there is older boys playing, and you just see that pitch, but girls too. Watching girls pitching during softball, I feel like uncomfortable.
It's
like that
different.
arm
It's like-
movement
That
is
movement.
My daughter's
The-
a pitcher,
Oh,
so
she
I
is?
yes, and it's different. So my son does pitching on the baseball side.
Uh-huh.
What's the difference? Because they say softball, it's like a natural movement.
It's more natural movement, but still stress on the arm.
Yeah.
Baseball is not a natural movement at all.
Yeah,
It's a lot more stress on the shoulder, elbow, especially if they have some deficiencies in their spine, hips, ankles, and all
Yeah.
that. That adds a lot more stress. But yeah, I would say softball is a little bit more natural, but there's
it's
still,
a pitch.
yeah, it's still stress on the body.
To Rachel's point, the way that they stretch their body.
But
Oh
isn't
my
like the
gosh.
expectation for softball like what is the expectation now for like college in the sense of pitching? Isn't it like 60 miles an hour?
It is probably higher than that. Like we have a 12-year-old that does 60, 65 miles an hour and she's 12. So it's intense. It can
Like,
go up
that
to
to me is-
70s and
That to me is
it's
wild.
hard.
And
Yeah.
they're so close. I
Yeah.
mean, and baseball too. I mean, if you look at like the perfect game,
Mhm.
I believe it was 2014. Only 5 players were hitting 95 miles per hour. Now there's like 36.
Yeah.
2024. So
How are they
it's-
doing that? What's the secret?
Yeah.
What are
And-
they doing?
But are you allowing your body time to
rest.
catch up to that and
Yeah.
rest and recover?
Even just watching from a professional standpoint, like, we were watching last night the Braves, obviously. But
It's a tough game.
a tough game. But watching them pitch, I'm like, it looks so uncomfortable.
Yeah. And they're max effort every
And it's and
everybody
like
has a sweep or a slide or a
Yeah.
slur or a curve and it's
Or
a
their
lot of
facial
stress.
expressions.
but
or,
just like
grunting.
watching like when they do the slow motion of like their arm going
external
back,
rotation,
and I'm
yeah.
just like,
Oh,
it it hurt. It looks painful. I
Yeah.
know it's not because obviously they're
They
doing
wouldn't
it,
do
but
it. Yeah.
it looks pretty
Yeah,
painful.
your body adapts.
So what would be some like advice you would give, to maybe some like moms or like parents listening in for, if they are like no matter what age, but like if they are pitching, what would be some things like the stretching, right?
Yeah, definitely stretching, elbow, shoulder, working on mobility of the hips, ankles is a big deal. And then just looking at pitch count, right? So the recommendation is 10 times your age. I think that's a little aggressive, only
Uh-huh.
because they're not counting warm-up pitches, they're not counting bullpen, so that can
Right.
creep up. So I like the more 5-6 times your age.
Okay.
And then also if they're complaining of anything, take that
Into consideration.
Yeah, take that into consideration because these kids they want to play. So if they're complaining about something, especially baseball players, they just
Right.
go. So if they're complaining about something, it's probably more serious than they're letting on.
Yeah.
Have you seen patients that have been injured and they're like, you tell them, listen, you have to take like 3 to 4 weeks off. And they're like, but I don't feel bad. Because I just went through this with my daughter. She hurt her ankle at school, had like a level 3 sprain or whatever. She was in a boot for a whole month.
Yeah.
So she couldn't do softball forever. And it was like torture. She's like, Mom, I'm fine. I'm like, I don't think you're fine. Like, you have to take your time. So have you experienced that with a patient? And like, how do you like get through either the kiddo or the parent that's still like pushing for them to fight through that pain or that recovery time and rest time that's required for?
It's a big deal. I mean, ultimately, I'm seeing them a short amount of time. So for me, I stress the importance of recovery, because if you look at statistics, the biggest predictor of a re-injury is a prior injury. So if you're not doing anything about that injury, you're just going to set yourself up for another injury that could be more serious and could lead to surgery. So for me, I tell it to them bluntly, listen, you can go ahead and throw, you can pitch tomorrow if you want to. I'm recommending 6 weeks off. But if we end up operating on you, that's on you. And if you're willing to take that risk, I'm laying out the risk, the rewards here. And if you make that decision with your parents, obviously.
Yeah. And then that's even scary too, because if they don't listen to you and they don't take the time off on the recommendation, then they come back in possibly for a surgery and then they're off even longer.
Longer.
Or if they
and I think that's what
never
people,
the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what people forget. You know,
especially at a young age. I mean, that can be career ending at such a young age, which it's sad.
Yeah, it was hard. Grayson had an elbow injury. He actually was catching, and when he had his arm out, the bat had like hit the back of his.
Yeah.
Ooh, the sound of that, like the video, it was.
Did he fracture?
Yeah, he did. So he was out for a while, and they actually wanted to put him in like a whole
arm cast.
And we ended up having to go back to get like another X-ray just to like, he wanted to see like once the swelling, because like when I tell you his elbow was like, it was like bigger than mine. It was
big.
It was huge. And you know, just coming back from that and just it was sad because he does want to play, and just having to be like, nope, we can't, like we're resting, like as a parent that is hard. But then even just him getting back, I remember his first game in, he was complaining, like, he's like, oh, Mom, my shoulder hurts. Like, we actually ended up pulling him from the game because I'm like, I don't know what this is, because I'm like, it's your elbow, but now you're saying your shoulder, you know.
It's like maybe they overcompensate the area because it's hurting. Yeah, so then he's doing it in his shoulder.
And that's an opportunity to, for example, your son's elbow injury, to work on other parts of their body, working on conditioning of the lower body, strengthening. So they can still do stuff.
Yeah. I do like they have like D1 does those like agility courses and stuff like that. I like all of that, because then they're understanding that like, oh, moving my body and working out is fun, as opposed to, you know, because I'm sure part of your are you always recommending them after an injury to do like some physical therapy?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Especially at that age group, I think everybody could benefit with a little physical therapy,
right?
Along with sports-specific training too, before you get back onto the field.
Yeah, and there's some physical therapists that really specialize in your sport too. Yeah. They'll like focus on like the mannerisms of like your hand, the mechanics of everything.
A lot more nowadays. A lot of them are cash-based, so it can get pricey, but they definitely are. They are out there.
Yeah, it's worth it though.
Yeah, I agree.
It's wild, but even just in like watching people come back even from physical therapy and like watching what they have to do. Like, I don't even think, as like, I consider myself a healthy woman, some of the stuff I'm like, I don't know if I can do that, because it's like, it's like, a different level of strengthening.
Definitely. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And you're working like the tiny little muscles that you normally don't.
And they still
It's painful. Physical therapy is no joke.
Physical torture. I like to call it.
Yeah, that's what it feels
but
like.
It definitely makes you stronger.
Yes.
It does.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah. What else are you seeing in the practice? You said elbows, right?
Elbows,
common.
shoulders. I see a lot of that. I mean, the most common injuries that we're seeing, I don't necessarily see them in office, but hamstring strains.
Really?
How do you
a lot more prevalent. Just running. Yeah. And then ACLs I see a lot in the office as well. So those are very common. More common than elbow, actually, if you look. But for whatever reason, the elbow there's a spotlight on the elbow because of all these pictures. But we're seeing a lot more hamstring strains, ACL injuries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How about rolled ankles? Like, what do you
Yeah.
do? Because I feel those are so common. I feel like my kid rolls an ankle and then like they're fine, and then like 2 weeks later they're running, and all of a sudden it's like all swollen again. So
Yeah.
how the ankle is such a delicate little thing. How do
Very,
you
very
prevent
delicate.
those
Especially
injuries to like rehappen over and over and over?
Yeah, especially at a young age where you're flexible.
Yeah.
I mean, if we roll an ankle, we're probably gonna break our ankle.
Right.
But at that age, they can stretch and do all sorts of
Yeah.
positions and be fine. But I think once you roll an ankle, it's very critical to make sure you're rehabbing it, stabilizing the structures around it, and working on above. So just because you rolled an ankle doesn't mean the ankle is the source. It could be tight hips. It could be your back is tight or something that threw your mechanics off and that caused you to roll your ankle.
Overcompensate.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. So let me go back. You said your daughter plays volleyball. What is I've lost my train of thought.
Which is a
I'm so
new
sorry.
world to me. I had no volleyball experience at all.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of similarities in baseball and volleyball with the movements and rotation.
Yeah. But at least they have pads. I feel like baseball,
There's protection.
they do. Like I see them with like the knee pads and
Yeah,
stuff.
elbow pads.
Yeah. Like it's nice to see. Do you feel like the pads help with injuries?
Sure. I think if you're diving on the floor without pads, I think that
Yeah.
can increase your injury.
Yeah.
Tell me your thoughts on the sliding mat for baseball.
You know, we got my son one, and I'm like, you need to get on base though, so we can use this.
So funny.
I think it's beneficial, especially if you're getting on base sliding head first, because there's a lot of finger injuries. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a Braves player recently that dislocated his finger on the field. He didn't have one on, so there is some validity in that. I think a lot of it is showy.
Yeah.
Swag.
I feel like it's
swag. The
it
drip.
looks to
The
me
drip.
it looks so ridiculous. Grayson doesn't have one.
I'm like, just put some oven mitts on. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
there's
was
some
funny.
teams that
So
have done it.
we did a tournament for Christmas, and one of the moms went to like the dollar store and got like, like Santa Claus, like oven mitt, whatever, as like a joke to put. And the umpire was like, absolutely not. Like, take that off he was so
That's
mad
hilarious.
because we were going to do it as like a joke,
Like a
Yeah.
fun thing. Well, guys, that's
He was-
basically what they are.
They are
Yeah, a little bit.
overpriced oven mitts.
but they're expensive.
They are.
Yeah.
$85, $100 for some of
Yeah.
these that look like the ice cream,
The
like
ice cream cone
Yeah,
or
all these
whatever.
designs.
yeah.
The banana.
And now
all
they
of
have
them.
the matching elbow pad
Oh, and the matching.
and the
knee,
matching,
the shin guard.
yeah, like all
that.
of that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, they can't even run in it. I just
It
don't.
hinders their movement.
I'm serious.
Dead.
I believe in that. I understand they're doing
Oh
it
my
from a
God.
protective standpoint, but I do feel like it's also,
Yeah.
hurting them a little.
Yeah, no, I
The big
agree.
leaguers are doing it. I gotta
Yeah.
do it. So
That's what it is. And-
They're
but
yeah,
Yeah.
influenced for sure.
oh yeah.
they're all influenced. So, I love talking about all the surgeries and stuff. But if you could, weird question, but if you could do like one surgery, like what's your favorite one to maybe like oversee or do?
I like doing ACLs.
You do?
Only because when we do, so there's a autograft and allograft. So autograft is where you take the patient's own tissue and create a new ligament.
Right, which is so cool.
Or allograft is where you take a cadaver and you create a ligament and you implant it into the body. So for me, in my role in those surgeries, when we do allografts, I'm creating that graft. So for me, it's very important, obviously, if I do a graft size too big, size too small, that can really affect the outcome of the surgery. So critical part of the case. So very hands-on for me during ACL surgeries, which is it's cool to see. I mean, it's a long rehab, but it's cool to see them come back.
Have you done a surgery where you're like on a child, like for example, like a kiddo that's still going through the growing, the growth spurts and stuff like that? How do you plan accordingly to those types of surgeries? Like, is there a plan for that, or do you just say, hey, we're going to figure that out as you
Definitely.
get older?
There is a plan. I mean, there's some, when I was in Atlanta, I trained with one of the Braves team physicians. So we did a lot of high school, college aged elbows. There's some injuries where we got to fix it. I mean, especially if you want to continue playing, we have to fix it. But definitely there is a consideration on age, growth plate, because if you encroach the growth plate, that can cause some injury to growing and stunt growth. So definitely that is part of the planning. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so important.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially in that age.
Yeah, the growth plate stuff is kind of scary.
Yeah, and that's what I see a lot of in the clinic is the medial elbow growth plate. So when I show them the picture of their right, for example, if they're a right-hand thrower compared to the left, they're like, oh, wow, yeah, there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
And for them seeing that, they're like, okay, yeah, maybe I should back off a little bit. Yeah. And it's eye-opening for the parents to see that too.
That visual aspect of it, I think, is really like, wow, eye-opening for sure.
Yeah, I think it is, because then the parents, like, even with Grayson's injury, you don't want to tell them no. You're like, oh, you want to keep them happy and all that kind of stuff. But then you're like, well, the end result is you're going to be out even longer. And, it's hard to see them in that. Like, he had to wear the sling. Like, he went
for weeks too.
It feels like years for them.
He was like miserable. He was like, he hated it. But I'm like, this is what we got to do.
That was a freak injury, so.
It was a total freak injury. But coming back from it too, like watching him behind the plate, like he was like
very aware.
He was like way back.
He
was like way back there. And I'm like, I had pulled Keaton aside after a game and I'm like, I think he's like a little scared he's going to get hit again, and again, it was a freak accident, but it was like during a practice. And it took him, he's like, I don't know if I want to catch anymore, just because
normal mindset.
Because he got hurt. And like every coach that I talk to, like even in like clinics he's been to and stuff, they're like, if you can find another field position and not catch, because catching on the body is almost worse than pitching. And you hear it often, like catchers they like just their knees and like their arm, because they're throwing
just as much as the pitchers.
Yes,
and
exactly.
They're squatting. So I think I counted 300 squats one day for the catcher in a 9-inning game.
Gosh, they're sore the next
day. So they're up and down, up and down, up and down, and then throwing. So,
but they don't stop. I mean,
no.
They're involved. Not that like, nobody else has a point on the team, but like catchers are.
They're like the wall behind. Yeah, and they have these balls being thrown at them, and they have to.
They're moving.
It's a very important role.
Very important. I agree.
It's very diverse for sure.
Yeah,
that's wild.
It is wild. So now what's the future hold for you? What's the plan? Are we happy where we're at? Are we going to be
happy?
Are we going to be going back to some major league stuff soon?
I never close the door on anything, so we'll see. I mean, I'm happy with where I'm at. I have a great gig now, working with a great surgeon that is very, very family oriented. So that allows me the flexibility to pick up and leave if I have to go to a practice or a game, change my schedule around. So that definitely being around for the kids is truly a blessing. Yeah. But I think if an opportunity came up in the future, I would listen, definitely. Yeah. I'm not going to shut it down immediately, but it'd have to be a really good opportunity.
Yeah.
I love that.
For it to leave the comfort that we have right now. You can't beat that like home work life balance. I mean, it
is nice, especially as the kids are young and aging.
Yeah. Because they need you now.
Critical years.
Yeah. I feel like, now they need you more than ever. And,
you get to witness all of the important.
Yeah. It is nice.
So what do you like to do outside of being a sports dad and also a doctor and surgeries and stuff like that?
I like to roast coffee and travel.
Okay.
And run. I love to run. I think running, it gives me an opportunity to kind of just be with myself, listen to a podcast, and just kind of let my brain run wild there. But I do like to roast coffee. I'm a big fan of coffee, big lover of coffee. I've been my whole life. And traveling. And it's interesting because when we travel, when my family and I, when we travel, we're always finding the local coffee shops. And so it's like, it's always been a thing for us for the longest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
So I have to, so their business is Nona Roasting.
Yeah.
And you can,
shout out to
they will
Nona
literally
Roasting.
deliver to your front door, which is
We
even
will.
better. They will also ship
like
to you.
VIP service.
And roasted fresh.
I love
they
that.
do. They roast it fresh. Guys have to check out their Instagram. But their coffee is good. Like this is going to sound terrible. I do not like people make fun of me.
I know she doesn't.
I don't like Starbucks.
I always ask her. She's like, I'm good. Thank you.
To me, it's not coffee when you have to add like
I agree.
all of this cream and 7 layers. Like when I see people like when they write like, oh, what's your Starbucks order? And it's like 50 different things. And I'm like,
list.
that's not coffee.
And it's like white. It's like
and it's
white.
like
sugar.
Yeah, you're just eat 5 packets of sugar. Like I don't know.
Agree.
So I have to say I like the beans because you get whole beans. And then we got a grinder and we like grind it. And for the coffee is just, it tastes like coffee, which is what it should taste like.
Right.
But I have to do a shout out for the cold brew. That is
your go-to.
Literally my favorite. But you guys had done something. I'm trying to remember because I had gotten it around Christmas.
The coquito cold brew.
Yes.
Yeah, so that comes from our background being Puerto Rican.
Oh, I'm cute.
So coquito is a very
But it's non-alcoholic.
Yeah, it's non-alcoholic.
No.
Like
So
just
yeah.
so everybody knows. Like
We
it
cold brew
wasn't
the
like
coffee.
9
That's why
a.m.
it
and
was
I'm
your
like
favorite.
throwing this
No
back.
alcohol at all. I mean, if you want to add, that's on you, but none from us.
But
That's
the
so
flavor was so good. I actually had like gotten a bunch and I just had put little bows on and like that's what I had given to my
That's
neighbors,
cool.
like the little
Mhm.
moms like in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And they were like, I bleached my whole house. I'm like, yeah, that stuff is
Amazing.
actually what coffee is. So
should be doing for you.
you guys have to check them out because they have very good stuff and they ship and deliver and all the things. So, and I vouch for them, you know, I'm very passionate about the
Love that.
coffee.
I love that. So do you have any fun trips planned up coming up for you and your
So
family?
yeah, so we're going to Punta Cana coming up, and we have some friends that have a house over there, so they
Okay.
offered us to stay with them, which is extremely
So
nice of them
Yeah.
to get away, get on the beach. And then I'm taking Lucas to the All-Star game in Atlanta, so we have a
Nice.
nice trip planned there
Oh, that's
coming up
great.
in a couple weeks.
I love that for you. That's good. Work hard, play hard, right?
That's it.
When you go to these games, is there still people that you know that you're
Yeah,
like, hey?
So we were at the Marlins game this past weekend against the Braves, and
Yeah.
I ran into a few people. Some of them are commentators now, so it's like
Yeah.
I'm walking through the concourse, and they're like, "Hey!"
Oh, memories.
Old players and
Yeah.
old athletic trainers that I still keep in touch with. So
That's
it's
awesome.
awesome.
That's so fun.
Yeah,
Isn't
That's
it
so
so
cool.
fun? Like the people that you meet through sports, like they just like become family. Like
They are.
and they always just they want to be. They're happy for you, and there's
Yep.
no like.
Yep. Truly our family. They know
Yeah.
the grind that you've gone through, and they can actually relate. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so nice. You guys will have a blast.
I'm excited. It was pricey, but
Listen, it was
Whatever.
worth it.
It's gonna be a
Worth
core
it.
memory, no matter
It
what
is.
Punta
happens.
That's
Cana
what
is
Emily
beautiful.
said.
Have you been to Punta Cana before?
no,
It's
no.
beautiful. The water is like Rachel's favorite, like that crystally, like aqua blue. Like the water
I'm
is
excited
beautiful.
just to veg out and do nothing.
Yeah, I'm
Love
assuming
that.
you don't get to do that often, so that'll be good for you.
Yeah, at least for a few days.
Yeah, you guys wear a lot of different hats, so
We do. We're busy.
very driven.
It's a-
We love
it's
to
a-
see it.
Busy, fun time of our lives.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
awesome. That's
Well,
awesome.
Perfect. I appreciate it.
Is there anything that you wanted to like maybe for somebody that's like listening in that is, you know, anything you want to put out there and like what you do and any advice maybe just like
Yeah.
off
I
the
mean, if anybody wants to reach out to me, you can give them my contact information. I'm an open book. If anybody wants a shadow or has any questions about anything, contact me. But I would say if anybody's interested in a career in sports medicine, athletic training, orthopedics, all of the above, find somebody in that field, reach out to them, email them, call them, ask questions, maybe offer to buy them a coffee for their time and just pick their brain and get after it.
Well, we thank you so much for your time today. We really
It was
appreciate
awesome.
you.
Thank you so
That's
much.
great.
Thanks for coming all the way out here. Thank you guys so much. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will add not only Julio's link if you need to get in contact with him, but also for their Nona Roasting company. Thank you guys again. Like, follow, and subscribe. Have a great day.
Bye, guys. And here's our mom highlight of the week from one of our MVP players. Enjoy. What do you want to be when you grow up?
10.
You want to be 10?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the favorite thing that your mom cooks for you guys?
Mac and cheese.
What is your mom's favorite color?
Pink. Pink.
Okay. What is the funny thing that your mom says sometimes? You want to skip that one?
Yeah, I want to tip that one. Down's a hard question.
Okay.
Tip it.
What is the funny? No, let's see. Hold on. Yes. What is if your mom was going to be an animal? What would she be and why?
A cheetah.
Why?
Because her was really past the toe to the bathroom.
I love that. What is your favorite thing about your mommy?
Who helps me do homework?
Do you want to say anything to mommy in the camera?
Yeah. Mommy, you are the best mom I ever had. I love you so much.